spot as they pick up the first down out of the Wildcat. The whole Penn State legacy is...
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are live. My name is Sandwich, on board with you for week 5 of tonight's college football 26 action here in the ECAC. Rare sighting of Adonis. Haven't been able to catch a game of his all semester long. That changes tonight here. Coming in undefeated so far, about halfway through the ECAC regular season up against Southern University. Swiss stage regular season. Both players coming in undefeated. Only one can leave with that record intact. Adonis on that Georgia Bulldogs squad that's been so strong throughout the semester. We've seen many players on our post-university side and others use it to great effect. Southern University on that LSU Tigers squad. Not quite as popular, but it is a team we've seen plenty times before. Going to be Adonis starting off on the defensive side of the football. Opening kickoff goes nowhere for Southern University. Should have opted for the touchback instead. They'll be pinned back at their own 14-yard line to get this one started out for Post University. It's a best of 3 5-minute quarters for tonight's shenanigans. BradSnappa and Big Sneezy on board later on as well. Both players have their games starting at 8:30. And Southern U are not going to be able to get this play call. That is going to be a delay of game, not quite how the offense would like to roll out for Southern University. Although a decline of the penalty, some sportsmanship from Adonis here. Haven't seen him take a single snap throughout this semester. First snap on defense, going to force him left out. Only a short gain of 1 that time. Adonis We've seen him throughout our college football coverage. We saw him last semester. The young man has no problem putting points on the board. Once dropped 81 points and a half. Couldn't see more because he made his opponent forfeit early. That time forced to cut through the seams there. Chose the out route. It was the in route. The target that time to move the chains for Southern University. Folks love playing out of this mesh concept. We've seen this ad nauseum throughout the regular season. Longtime viewers are going to understand just how strong of a play this can be. A lot of options short. A lot of defenders like to play from that middle linebacker position. You involve them in the action early and often, and yet again the mesh concept coming out. It goes nowhere, so you run out of options. That's the only problem with this play. If you don't find somebody as the streams are crossing, a lot of players just sitting on the sideline. People like to run these zone concepts. You're going to have defenders in that airspace. You don't have options after those plays. Not going to have too much in the way of offensive potential. And this time, the route looked like from the tight end. And BradSnappa coming on a little bit earlier than we thought. We'll be able to catch his game later on as well, as Adonis gives up a big gash upfield out to the 42. Following a good couple of possessions here. Now a massive drop back from the quarterback. And of course, a short completion for the back out of the backfield. Adonis looking for the opening stop on this opening drive for Southern University. Don't throw it into his airspace. Knocked incomplete. A dangerous ball. Doesn't quite look like Southern University know exactly where Adonis likes to play. You're not going to spot these user circles pre-snap, but post-snap you can ID where your opponent is playing from. Again, playing from the linebacker, incredibly common. Southern U not quite onto it yet. Came incomplete that time, and once again crossing the streams, able to make magic happen out of that mesh concept to move the chains for Southern University. Adonis running out of room here as we approach the red zone. Wealth of crossing routes once more. Adonis, the early dive, gonna go nowhere. Second tackle juked out as well, out to the 11-yard line. Just about first and goal for Southern University here. When you run out of room, this mesh spot becomes that much easier to guard. And that time, again, you get folks stopped. You get people at the end of these dragging routes. And stuff goes nowhere. Stadium post maps being a small part of that. In our spring semester, nobody had home field advantage, but here in the fall, home field advantage has played a small part of these games. Of course, the screen shake. Adonis going to need every single bit of help he can get here on this Georgia Bulldog squad. Looks like a pair of slants out of Southern University, able to find a man in the gap underneath the zones for the touchdown. Don't come out in mesh spot. They're able to make magic happen off of the slant play, able to find someone hiding underneath that zone coverage. So tough to play zone in the red zone. Ironically enough, you want to come out and man there usually. Of course, not quite first and goal like we said, operating from the 11-yard line. And it's going to give up the first score of the contest here. Now looking to respond back following the kick return. Kick return going to go nowhere. Folks love kick returns. We see very few touchbacks in the regular season. This is a no-leak stream. We might have to go to the BRB screen early. We are going to do just that. Like I said, no-leak stream, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite sure what sort of adjustments Adonis has going on under the hood. But speaking of under the hood, we may take this opportunity to swap over to the BradSnappa show. Looks like he's still getting on board. So we don't want to quite move on to him just yet. And BradSnappa currently at 500. So a dogfight again, Swiss format. Both players coming in with 500 records in his matchup. So we'll stick with Adonis for now. We'll get you back on to your screens here. Again, this is a no-league stream. Not even going to pretend to see the sort of adjustments Adonis is coming out here. But this is a young man who has a lethal passing attack through the air. Well, that time, hands on the quarterback before he could make the throw. cover 4, where that Southern U defense able to buy just enough time to force the incompletion. But again, Brad, very different offense compared to Adonis, who loves that run, or Brad, who loves that short game, and Big Sneezy, who loves that dangerous ground game. That time, Adonis doing some damage on the ground to move the chains out to the 36-yard line. This man who does an excellent job of spotting when somebody's overcommitting to that run game. Sometimes you're going to have a couple of these short gains. That time, Adonis only good for 2 yards. He does an excellent job pre-snap of spotting these gaps in the defense, spotting where someone could be overcommitting to that run. You see that M highlighted on your screen. No secret about where this user on Southern University is playing defense. That time, the lineman, a huge sack, going to pin him way behind the first down marker. 3rd and 22 now for Post University. We mentioned that passing attack. Post University is going to need just that here to keep this offense alive, let alone bring out the punting unit. Dangerous ball thrown into double coverage. It's hauled in short of the first down marker. But there's that passing attack for Post University. Couldn't find the coverage to move the chains, but Adonis likes what he sees, and Post University going to stay out on the field. 4th and 8 now. Or Post University need 8 yards to keep this offense moving, and the drag route going to be just enough to move the chains. Looked like 9 yards there, needed 8, just enough to keep the offense out on the field. Adonis now trying to gash this defense. No, instead going to go to the back underneath, one-on-one. Southern U, I'm going to say they're ducking the smoke. They did not take control of number 40 there to try to get hands on Adonis, letting the CPUs handle it. We've seen just how dangerous trying to make a tackle one-on-one, user-on-user is in college football 26. Don't exactly blame him. He's going to let Adonis continue to chug on. Play action is blown up by Southern University. It's a loss of 8 that time on first down. And Adonis doing a good job of matriculating upfield, but that time they get sent back to the 40. And that sort of wide open space is where we want to see Adonis operating. Although yet again, the pocket collapses. 2 straight sacks on 2 straight downs. And now it's 3rd and humongous once more for Adonis on offense. He's made water into wine once already on this drive. He's going to need more of that magic here, as now he'll be starting at midfield. And this time the pocket forms around him. He's able to find his man streaking across the field. Once again hauled in just short of the marker. And Adonis, with all of that space, finally gets some time in the pocket, able to deliver a dot. Not enough for the first down. Deja vu, ladies and gentlemen, as Adonis needs another 4th down conversion to keep this drive alive. We'll be looking for an arm punt here if we can't find anything. And once again, the pocket just eviscerated. Goes up in smoke for Adonis. And his opening drive comes up empty. We'll stick with Adonis on this defensive possession. See if we can't keep it a 1-score game before swapping over to BradSnappa. A dangerous ball hauled in. He's had a chance to make a play on it. Wise to not go for it. Sometimes you're that close to an interception, there's a good throw out for it. They're not going to be in position for the tackle. Adonis instead trying to play to bring him down. Maybe force an incompletion if he's hit as he makes the reception, and that's going to bring us to the 2nd quarter. We'll take a brief break. I just want to see if we can't catch. No, BradSnappa still in team selection, so we will not be able to switch to Brad. He is still in team select somehow. That ball blown out from the backfield. Short of the marker. It's 3rd and 1. I have no clue how BradSnappa has been in team selection for 500 years now. We'll stick with Adonis. Once again, the mesh concept going to go nowhere. Blown up for 4th and 1. Just 1 yard for Southern University. They like their chances. They're going to stay on the field in 4th down. Empty backfield for Southern University. Drag route going nowhere. The motion of the receiver from Southern University not quite able to connect with his man downfield. It's incomplete. And now Adonis in tremendous striking position to get this game all tied up. Run on first down. Gain of 0. Not quite where the gap, not quite where he thought the gap was going to be there. Runs right into the defender. He'll try to go on second down. There goes that gap, cutting it back upfield for a 7-yard gain. Already in field goal range. So far, neither player has been shy about going for it on fourth down. Don't think either player is worried about bringing out the kicking unit this far. They throw the whole team at the quarterback in the play. And so they'll get an easy completion out of it. User on the lineman there, able to be that last line of defense. Could have been bad for Southern University that time. Instead, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Looking to get the end around going. Can't quite turn that corner. Instead, it's going to be a loss of 4. Want to stay with Adonis here before snapping over to the BradSnappa show. So hopefully be on the field there for his game 1. Over the backfield, able to dodge one tackle and move the chains. 1st and goal from the 10. Just about the most difficult 1st and goal you can ask for. Adonis has done well with that sort of space already in this one. And the out route is jumped by the defense. It's a turnover. User defense from that middle linebacker position in Southern University with the first takeaway of the contest. They forced the turnover on downs and that time come away with the interception. We'll see if Adonis can make some magic. Nearly a safety. Gonna force the throwaway. That's gonna do it for the Adonis show. They're just a little bit. I have no idea how this is still the case. There's no BradSnappa is still in team select league even going. Insane record. It looks like he's waiting for his matchup to get back into the lobby. That's why he's been waiting in team select. So we will stay on board with Adonis here. He's trying to keep this a 1-score game. Doesn't want it to get out of hand early on here in the first half. He is going to start with the ball in the second half. You want to keep it a low-scoring affair. At the very least, you can take it back with an opening drive in the second half. Got to keep this contained on defense. This mesh concept still a tremendous problem for Adonis to try to solve here. And you're just forced to pick your poison guess for game, and that time Southern University able to hit the receiver over the top of the defense, right in the gap between the secondary and those linebackers for the first down. Out at the 39-yard line, dangerous football right into the hands of the linebacker. Now that time Adonis coming away with a takeaway of his own. The offense going to get a bit of a head start on this drive out at the 34. Trading turnovers now as Adonis looks to get this one all tied up. The run on first down blown up once again, this time for a loss of 3. Been hard for Adonis to establish the pass game because it's been hard for him to establish the run game. He's not convincing his opponent to commit those extra resources on the ground, able to do some damage that time on second down. It's a 3rd and short for Adonis. Right where you want to be if you're Adonis. The playbook going to be wide open. This time going to do damage on the ground. Looked like he was brought down short of the first down marker. Yeah, 4th and 1 for Post University. Playbook was wide open, but Southern University were all over it. Neither team been very shy about playing a 4-down offense. Post University going to stay on the field here at the 29. And the out route to Delp, the tight end. For this Bulldog squad, it has been such a problem for essentially any team to guard throughout this regular season. A big target for this Georgia Bulldogs offense. Run right up the gut. Tried to cut it back right into the entire defense, it looked like. Still good. No loss on that first down. It'll be 2nd and 10. Now with room to run here, able to turn the corner, wide open field, touchdown, Post University. Adonis turning the defense into offense almost immediately on that ground attack. The extra point is up and it is good. So he's University going to look for a chance to respond. They want to put any sort of points on the board before we hit triple zeros at halftime. Again, Adonis starting with that football in the third quarter has a chance to turn the tables on Southern University here with a minute 33 left to play in the half. Gap closing at the right time for Adonis and his special teams here. We'll just try to get any update on BradSnappa. Somehow still hasn't made it into the game. Still waiting for his opponent. I have no clue what happened to his opponent. He was in the lobby. We have since lost him, so we will stick with the Adonis show. 5-yard conversion that time. Didn't go out of bounds. So the clock is still ticking. That's what Adonis wants here. We can pitch a shutout or at least just force the lights out on this first half. Able to bring the running back down. Does look like he was forced out of bounds. No, never mind. The clock's still going to be ticking. For Southern University, they're not going to call a timeout, so they move the chains. The time not working in their favor. Short 5-yard gain once again tackled in bounds. Hurry up offense going to be Southern University's friend here if they want to keep those 2 timeouts in their back pocket, and it's a flag on the play. Should be a free play for the Southern University offense to run here. Ends up going nowhere. I think this might be getting called back, but Adonis has no time to worry about that, because if not, it is going all the way back to the house for the touchdown. And yeah, offside penalty getting waved back. The commentator knows ball, unfortunately. It did look like Adonis was a little too close with that linebacker. We're going to need another pick 6 here, and that's going to be intentional ground by almost a shoulder, right? And literally no one on that half of the field. And that's, I believe that's exactly what it was. Second and humongous now. Whatever the penalty was, Adonis happily going to take it here. A nice extra 11 yards between Southern University and the marker. And there's football into enemy territory. Oh my goodness, instead going to hit Holder. Southern University happy that one ended up incomplete. 3 Georgia Bulldogs in the airspace. Could have been dangerous. I wonder if that's a last second adjustment. Saw his man and saw the defenders maybe a second after. Can't adjust the target, but you can adjust the power. You can't be able to throw it. Regardless, it'll be 3rd and 21 now. And Adonis playing the deep safety in that man 3, in that deep zone coverage there. Force Southern University to go underneath again. 4 down offense. Still no timeouts. And that is not exactly what we want to see. A little bit of overzealousness from Adonis that time. Going to get a little bit closer to that first down marker for Southern University now. 4th and 4. From their own 46 with 2 timeouts remaining. I love to see that BradSnappa finally made it on to the field, was able to wrangle his Penn State opponent. So we'll swap to him as we hit halftime here on Adonis' game 1. Not quite anything going anyway. Dangerous 50-50 ball, nearly hauled in, instead knocked incomplete. Threw it in a double coverage, almost came up with something there. Instead, now Adonis is going to have probably 1 down. Looks like he's going for a Hail Mary. Realistically, 1 chance here. Maybe a short completion. Instead, it's turned over. Got to make sure you turn the lights out on this return here. Finally pushing him out of bounds at the 35. Crisis averted. Adonis is trying to lead with a quick completion and a field goal. Instead, we'll stay all tied up at 7 apiece as we approach halftime. Again, that'll do it for the Adonis show for a little bit. We'll be back with him later, don't y'all worry. We do want to get on board with BradSnappa here. We got to make sure the audio's just right before we get onto the field. Thankfully, have the scoreboard. Actually, I don't believe we do have the scoreboard in the right place. No, we do not have the scoreboard in the right place. We got to change that as well. We got to flip it.
They're making a statement that we believe we're the
Brad
more physical
on that
team,
Alabama
and we're
squad.
going to run the football,
Penn State
even if
Beren
you know it's coming at you.
on
Nice
that
job.
LSU.
They got the ball at midfield. I expect to see more run plays.
We get that swapped over. Completion out of the backfield. Short 2-yard gain. The box was loaded for that one.
This series dates back to 1895.
It's one of the big counters for that mesh attack. You just stack the box, you bring the corners a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, so that way if you are able to contain the middle, you have help once they hit that left and right side of the field. A run right up the gut, or BradSnappa there, good for a 7-yard gain. Needed 8 to move the chains, so it'll be 3rd and 1 here.
We all know that conference championship, national championship, Heisman Trophy implications are on the line, and the intensity level in this game, it's simply
unmatched. Turn down the BradSnappa offense. We have a crowded booth here with BradSnappa on 3rd and 1. Exactly the 50-yard line, trying to stack the blocks. Tried to snap it right to the running back. We've seen BradSnappa try to sprinkle in like a chef in the kitchen that Wildcat offense. It's been a staple of Big Sneezy's ground-based run game attack. BradSnappa not quite able to get enough out of the Wildcat there to move the chains. Likes what he's seeing. Stacked backfield for BradSnappa. No secret where this football's going. It's a QB sneak, and it's just enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, I think those quarterback sneaks used to be for the big, strapping quarterbacks. But, man, nowadays, dude, all you got to do is fall forward, and it's such a hard play to stop. So you see this all across
BradSnappa doing a whole lot of damage on the ground.
It's just a difficult play to stop.
Let's see what he does now. Down and distance has been reset. The pocket going to collapse. Looked like the pass play was well covered on that right side of the field. Not quite able to get to his release valve. The running back out of the backfield got bottled up before Brad could get out to him. It's going to be a 5-yard loss for Post University, now operating at the 47.
At least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. Looking to pass. It's Simpson.
Oh my, dangerous ball. It looked like he got caught up on the running, or on the linebacker, excuse me. No illegal contact, no DPI. Instead, BradSnappa catching a break. The CPUs almost hosed him. Instead, he'll live to fight to 3rd and 15. Want to see him grab a nice chunk of yardage here. If not, it'll be a dangerous 4th down. Out to the tight end. 4th and 3 now. Certainly makeable down in the distance. We saw Adonis already do that in tonight's action.
Easy to run. I like it. Just drop back as a quarterback. See the big
teams have not been shy about playing 4-down offenses. So far, that's what we've got out of BradSnappa here as well. I like to see him with the wide variety in the playbook, keeping that mesh concept in his back pocket, especially with this makeable short 4th and short. Out to the big fella on the drag route. Not enough to move the chains. BradSnappa's not happy about that one. We are challenging that play. Going to use a timeout to do so. That was a close one.
Coaches talk about it all the time.
I believe we did see the coach's challenge come up. That's the challenge from Post University. They burn a timeout to do it, and they're incorrect. It's going to stay with this Penn State Berend offense. Unfortunate for Post University. They burn a timeout in the 1st half. And Snappa now bringing the free safety all the way into the box. Made the right read that time. Such a dangerous gamble to bring the free safety in there. We've seen that sort of heavy-handed stack the box concept get blown up many a time. You got to be very, you're gambling with that free safety in the box. You better be correct. This time a wealth of time under center. Going to extend his time with the rollout. Short completion. Might as well have been a lateral. And it does look like he's going to be sent back from 2nd and 14 to 3rd and 15 for Penn State Berend. Under center once more, able to find the gap in the zone coverage for the 1st down and more, out to the 40-yard line. Cannot give an opposing quarterback all that time with a zone look, because all they have to do is wait to find that gap, able to throw it just about at the cut, find that gap in the zones for the 1st down. Snappa looking to operate from that cornerback position. Number 7 on the right side of your screen. Trying to run right up the gut. The secondary not quite ready for it. Finally collapses on him at the 18. Not sure how much I like this look for BradSnappa. Was dangerous on that run that time. Going to do more damage on the pass. The receiver able to get past almost the entire defense. Stopped at the 1 yard line. One blade of grass between BradSnappa and a stop here. Goal line. Defense going to have to come out for Post University as we approach the end of the first quarter. Loaded backfield and the ball's not knocked loose. It's a fumble recovery for Post University. One blade of grass is all you need. BradSnappa able to force the takeaway. Lock up the house at the last minute. And BradSnappa's offense going to start at the 1 yard line following the fumble recovery. Just what the doctor ordered. Now need to find some airspace for your offense here. Don't want to give up the safety. Maybe a 2 yard gain. Still not quite enough for that 5 yard drop back for the quarterback. Might just be enough for BradSnappa to get some room to operate here, though. As we approach the end of the first quarter, BradSnappa can take us all the way to the end of the first. He looks content to do just that.
When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
It's been a defensive battle through the first period.
Tightly contested first quarter. BradSnappa almost right at the buzzer, coming up with the fumble recovery to prevent that opening drive score for Penn State Berend. The Berend Lions coming up empty on their first drive. BradSnappa trying to find a gap, couldn't get through the gap in time. Certainly had a window, had trouble getting through the gap in the line there. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 3. Now we have just enough space for that 5 yard drop back. Certainly a little close for comfort here. Play action. No, it's going right to the back, out of the backfield with a head of steam. First down, Post University. No one was ready for that one. Able to get past that line of scrimmage, get past the linebackers in the box, or that secondary collapses on him, and now BradSnappa with plenty of breathing room to operate that standard offense. Anything but standard for BradSnappa. Gonna pitch it to the running back. Gonna get shut down. Did look like that Penn State Berend defense was ready for those run game shenanigans. We've seen those quarterback pitches go the wrong way, go backwards, turn into turnovers. So BradSnappa might be counting his lucky stars. It was just a 1 yard gain. Not quite as lucky this time on second down. It's a sack on the quarterback and a loss of 7 for Post University. Somebody uncovered at the line of scrimmage, immediately blown up. No time for BradSnappa to react. Now some time under center. Pocket collapsing, throwing in a double coverage, knocked incomplete. Not quite the dart you needed. You throw that high arcing ball, you give chances for the defense to recover, but we're happy it's not a turnover. The ball going back to Penn State Berend here on the punt return. Gonna break it down the right sideline. Not gonna get past midfield. Down at about the 47. I do just want to take a brief second, see what's going on in Adonis's game. Still no sighting of Big Sneezy. We have been waiting for him to hit the field as well. This game was supposed to start at 8:30. Adonis up 21-14 in their contest. They'll stick with BradSnappa here, trying to put an end to the staring contest. Still all tied up at 0-0. 50-50 ball on the left sideline. The double coverage, not able to get there in time. The help defense, too little, too late. And a major completion to get out to the 4 yard line. Penn State Berend once again knocking on heaven's door here. 1st and goal from the 4. Back out of the backfield, shut down. Just trying to power through the line. Instead, the defense going to bring him down for a loss of 1. That goal line defense for BradSnappa has been stellar so far in this game. It's been a hallmark of his defense so far in this regular season.
Dropping back, it's Nussmeier.
And that time, hands on the quarterback. It's a sack. No time to force the incompletion. Instead, it's going to be a huge sack, going to pin him almost outside of the red zone. Excuse me. 3rd and goal from the 16. Forget goal line stand. You got to come back into a regular standard defense here. Went all out for the interception and gets burned for it. Touchdown, Penn State for Ren. We were talking about it earlier. You got to be careful when you're not in position for those interceptions. Looked like he had a chance. Instead, Penn State Beren able to jump up for the moon ball. Quarterback threw it high. Did not let BradSnappa become a factor in that 50-50 ball. That'll be the first score of this game one. Just about halfway through the second quarter in this one. Rare touchback. We don't see too many of those. Lots of players love to go boom or bust for those kickoff returns. We haven't seen more kickoff returns than touchbacks. It's been really close. We've seen a couple of special teams magicians so far in the regular season. Now looking to make some magic out of the collapsing pocket. Going to be just enough. No, inches short of the first down for Post University. Shoved just short of the marker. If I'm BradSnappa, I like that offensive trip on first down. The pocket collapse, and that might be called back for intentional grounding.
I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag.
Yeah, the flag comes out. Oh my goodness, an insane penalty from 2nd and inches to 3rd and 12 for Post University. Knocking on the door of the first down.
Let's see what they do on 3rd down.
Now going to need some major damage through the air to move the chains on this drive.
From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire.
No time. Hit as he throws, and it's way incomplete. Lucky it wasn't a turnover. Hit right as he throws. We've seen many of those get turned into interceptions by opposing defenses. So BradSnappa again, I mean, not quite what he wanted. That's going to be roughing the... Is it the kick returner? Punt return interference? Kick catch interference. There, thank you, College Football 25. Can't be hitting him before he makes that catch. And so the return team going to get a bit of a head start on offense, now starting at the 48-yard line. Man-to-man defense and 3 deep zone defenders for Post University on this one. It's going to make it really easy to knife through that gap. You got a massive gap in the back line. Penn State Beren take advantage for the touchdown. Dangerous play there, and Penn State Beren able to load up numbers on that left side of the field. You only got 1 zone defender back there. Other 2 zone defenders don't come in time, and it's blown up. Now out to a 2-score lead, 14-0. Penn State Beren double their lead in just about 10 seconds. Penn State Beren on a bit of a run here in game 1 in the second quarter. Scored all their points in the second. Came in all tied up at 0 apiece. And BradSnappa with the 2-minute warning on his side and 2 timeouts following that missed challenge in the first. Going to put some points on the board.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half.
There's that mesh concept. You see that red and yellow line right at the line of scrimmage, folks. Makes magic happen. Forces opposing defenders to make tough decisions. And lets Post University get all the way out to midfield, up to the 46. Got to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed when you're coming up against that mesh concept. The linebackers are there in the middle, but the cornerbacks aren't quite up to the line of scrimmage. So you're able to turn the corner. That time, juke move past 1. Sent the Penn State Beren defender out to the sidelines. Had him dolphin diving out of bounds. Out for a 9-yard gain for Post University. Making some quick magic to Williams once more. Another juke move. Another defender sent diving past the offense. And this time going to be enough for the first. Got to be wary of leaning on these plays, but in the hurry up, it's just a little bit harder for that defense to adjust. Once again, able to turn the corner, this time out to the big fella. Able to get thrown out of bounds, but not before crossing the first down marker. Post University, some last-minute matriculation upfield. Still 1:25 left. Dangerous ball batted by the lineman, nearly grabbed by the linebacker. Instead, incomplete. Close one for Post University, and it'll be second down. That's the danger of that mesh play. If any of these CPU defenders are aware, they're going to be able to bat those down. Turn into dangerous footballs for that middle linebacker. Wow, the tight end crushed. Might have been the slot receiver, excuse me. Somebody got crushed on that play. Still able to maintain possession, and now 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Gonna get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 3 for Post University. That first trip on offense. Gonna find the gap in this mesh now. Breaking out of the pocket. 1-on-2. Gotta wait for the defenders to commit to the quarterback and send it over the top for the touchdown. Amazing pocket awareness from BradSnappa, waiting for the defenders to commit. Meanwhile, Penn State Beren between a rock and a hard place. It's very difficult to tell your CPU to commit to the quarterback and I'll stay back for the pass, or vice versa. BradSnappa forcing that Penn State Beren defense into panic mode for the score. And that one going to be taken for a touchback as well. Penn State Beren still with a minute and 3 timeouts to work with. We got the quirky alternative camera angle. BradSnappa looking to get right at the quarterback, instead thrown out to the right sideline. Now the left sideline after the camera change. And BradSnappa making no secrets as to what position he's trying to play here. Now back out to the all-22 cam. For Post University. Quarterback is rolling out. That camera's got to adjust. There it is. That is not. BradSnappa, we can say he got hosed by the camera there for sure, as it was panning to the left, not quite where the camera needed to be. It forced BradSnappa to tackle a ghost there instead of put hands on the quarterback. Some nifty camera work have got Penn State Beren out to the 49-yard line. Dangerous ball, but that receiver going to be faster than the linebacker, trying to chase him down in man-to-man coverage. And Penn State Beren approaching the red zone here with 33 seconds left and still 2 timeouts. Post University not out of the woods yet here in the first half.
To the air on 1st down.
Going underneath, blown up after the catch, but still hauled in for the 3-yard gain. Another timeout for Penn State Beren here. Weren't quite able to get out of bounds. Would not be surprised if we see maybe Penn State Beren come out in a mesh concept. They're looking for some out routes. Want to be an incompletion or out of bounds here. Keep that last time out in your back pocket in case you need to settle for 3. Once again, able to torch the linebacker, but the secondaries got his back. Knocked incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Again, too fast for the lineman. That's why you've got these safeties in. The cavalry arrives and knocks it loose.
He's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
On 3rd and 7, the clock did stop for Penn State following the incompletion. Hands on the quarterback, no incompletion. It's a sack. That's going to force the clock to keep ticking. And now Post University calling Penn State Beren's bluff. They come out in a field goal unit. They're trying to keep some time on the game clock for themselves to operate here at the end of the first half. Intense stadium pulse, not going to make this kick easy. Out at the 32-yard line, almost the 39. And the kick is no good. Wide left. Not even close. Post University called their bluff and now going to get their offense started at the 32-yard line. 10 seconds. Post University can leave with a field goal. They'll have 1 play to flip the field realistically here. Just takes so much time to throw the ball, have it sail through the air. You want either a short completion, might get 1 pass. Post University going boom or bust here. 50-50 ball on the left sideline. It's intercepted by Penn State Beren. They've got 1 timeout and 2 seconds. They're going to do their own Hail Mary interpretation here for the last play of the half. BradSnappa now bringing out that man 3 prevent coverage, that prevent look.
Making a big play, getting the ball back to your offense.
Got all sorts of deep zones. The middle linebackers not exactly worried about the run here. Everyone got to be selling out for that Hail Mary. Wealth of time under the pocket for the quarterback. Going to throw it into 1, 2, 3, 4. Quintuple coverage. Post University bottle up that one in stride. Still down a score. 14-7 for Penn State Beren as we approach halftime. And Penn State Berend going to be starting with the football in the second half. They have a chance to turn this into a multi-possession game. It's been a low-scoring game one. This could be all the offense needs for Penn State Berend to put it out of reach.
And no chance at a return here.
That one's going to be fair catch. Do we just want to catch? An update on the Adonis game. His game already over. So we were not able to catch the game one score. I'm going to assume Adonis came out with the game one W. Because he had the lead the last time we did get an update. We'll return to the BradSnappa show here. Big shove on defense, able to stop before the receiver could get past that first down marker. 2nd and 3 for Penn State Berend here.
The Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short.
5 seconds left on that play clock. Need a quick snap. They're able to find it.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the
Oh
right.
my goodness, the secondary collapsing around him. This running back ahead of steam out of the backfield, charging all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State Berend. The secondary not ready to react. The line of scrimmage, the gap. I mean, perfection, room service past the line of scrimmage. Secondary never had a chance, uncovered, untouched. Past the line of scrimmage, you do your secondary a disservice. Looked like they were launched out of a cannon. Now a 2-score lead for Penn State Berend there. But a 2-play touchdown now. BradSnappa facing an uphill battle, approaching that stage of the game where you're forced to play nothing but perfect. Still
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt.
9 minutes and change for BradSnappa here to come back in this one.
The Tide offense rolls onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit.
Not quite mesh spot, certainly a mesh concept with the 2 in and out routes, 2 drag routes right at the line of scrimmage. And I like to see BradSnappa trying to mix it up with the mesh concept. We saw a lot of mesh spot, I believe it was in week 2 or week 3. Want to see that variety. And this time the drag route working to perfection. Williams with a head of steam. Launched out of a cannon because of that drag route. That time the secondary all over it. Able to get hands on the receiver in motion, but not before knifing upfield up to the 11-yard line. Coastal University maybe looking to go back to the well. They're only throwing 1 linebacker in the box. That is something you want to keep an eye on. Your defender, if your opponent's not going to adjust, why not run that mesh concept again? This time, we got more bodies in the box. Not sure if I'd want to run it here, especially because the box is wide open. They overcommit to the drag route, so you just run it right up the gut for the touchdown. Coastal University. Quick response from Snappa to keep it a 1-possession game.
And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. Quick work on that scoring drive.
We'll take a brief break. Just want to catch. Again, looking for any update from Sneeze. You got to put him on the milk carton at this point. We still have not seen his game go live. As Adonis already up to a 7-0 lead in his game 2. Want to stick with BradSnappa here, excuse me. He tries to battle back in this one. Need a stop on defense. Back in the backfield, one-on-one coverage. BradSnappa's all over it. Back to 2nd and 10. You gotta pop off when you get a tackle one-on-one like that. Those are so deceptively difficult in college football 26, where it feels like everybody's just covered in butter. That time, back out of the backfield, going to get swallowed up by the defense. Short of the marker, 3rd and 2 now. For Penn State Berend, who are coming out in that 2-clock look. We're already at 2 minutes left in the 3rd. The drag route underneath. Maybe enough for the first down and more, out to the 47.
It's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage.
And a 2-clock look. We might not even have one more set of downs for Penn State Berend before we approach the end of the 3rd quarter. So feeling the pressure of this post-university attack for BradSnappa, not looking to give his offense any room to breathe. 2nd and 10. A blink and you'll miss it. Only 39 seconds left in the 3rd now. Empty backfield for the running back. Screen gets lit up. Hauled in, but a loss of 5 for Penn State Beren that time. And they're going to take us to the end of the third quarter. They have plenty of time to do so. They look like they're in no rush to snap this football.
Guys, LSU has the lead here.
Penn State Beren feeling the pressure. Post University running out of time to make magic happen, get us all tied up in this one. It's a one-score game. Penn State Beren at midfield. They can continue to matriculate and play slow, potentially sap all of the time from this 5-minute quarter clock here for Post University. Just leave them with no room to work with. Short completion. It looks like they're trying to do just that. Maybe sold themselves a little too short. And now it'll be 4th and 12. No, they're going to bring out the punting unit. They're taking no chances with this Post University offense. Ironically, here in the fourth quarter, we see plenty of 4-down offenses in the first quarter, all tied up 0-0. They're up a score. And out comes the punting unit. Post University going to start at their own 41. Not quite an amazing 30-ish yard punt for Penn State Beren, and Post University with a puncher's chance here. Williams looking to turn the corner. The secondary a little bit more prepared that time. Not quite bunched in towards the hash marks, instead out by the numbers. They're going to make their presence felt. No room for Post University to turn the corner. It's a short 5-yard gain. Speaking of room to turn the corner, juke move past one. We've got help back there, a blocker in the secondary. Able to get Post University out to the 37. BradSnappa getting by with a little help from his friends. The wide receivers helping the tight end on the drag route. And Post University keeping the pressure on Penn State Beren and this defense here. Momentum certainly swinging their way as they approach red zone territory.
From inside the 40 at the 37, it's first down.
Fun won't start until Post University put points on the board, of course. 6-yard gain before the shove out of bounds at the 31. And that's what Post University want. BradSnappa is incredibly intentional not coming out in that true clock. The benefit of these drag routes, you have an option. You throw it late, it's very easy to get out of downfield. If you like what you see early, you can cut it up the hash marks, gash the secondary that way. A very flexible route concept for Post University to work with. And of course, you force the users to commit to something. Which direction are you going to go? 50-50. You guess incorrectly there. Another tremendous chunk of yardage for Post University. And Penn State Beren have not done a good job stacking this box. The user linebacker has been forced to commit in one direction or another. And this time, again, these receivers are way too fast for these linemen in open space like this. The linebackers are not going to be able to catch up if these drag routes are able to develop and get out in space. BradSnappa well aware of this. And now 2 yards away from getting us all tied up in the fourth quarter. Draw play for the back in the backfield all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Post University, and we are all tied up in the fourth quarter. BradSnappa coming alive in the second half. A minute, just about a minute of a drive there, and we are all tied up. Penn State, we saw them try to deflate the game, the timer out of this game in the third quarter. No time, no room left to hide here, all tied up with 3 minutes and change for Penn State Beren. They can still choose to play slow. BradSnappa's got to be perfect here still. Got to keep them out of field goal range. We've seen this Penn State Beren offense. They'll be content to take us to triple zeros and win with that go-ahead field goal. Pass underneath. Looked like he might have had the tight end on the go route on the right side of your screens. But Penn State Beren, they're still playing in true clock. Wow, that's interesting. Certainly wouldn't be surprised if we see that turn off once we're past the 2-minute warning. Almost hands on the quarterback, but it's to set up that halfback screen. Just enough help to move the chains.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy. So you want to put it right on their body.
Penn State Beren can take us right to the 2-minute warning. They're looking to call one more play before we hit it. Able to throw just underneath the secondary. Looked like the safety was trying to get down there. shut down any yards after the catch, but hauled in all the same for the first down. Now under the 2-minute warning, still not in field goal range. They're still very 50-50 in this tug of war on this potential game-winning drive. And that time, yeah, you get a win on that tug of war. You call that timeout, you make the opposing offense, you remind them, you gotta move this chain, you gotta move these chains, get that first down. This Post University offense is coming for you with 1:54 remaining. Gonna do damage on the play action. Dangerous ball, but it's tough to knock these tight ends off of their spots, off of their lines. It's hauled in, and that time a timeout from the offense. Penn State Berend calling their first one following the completion. Those tight ends, you got to get the secondary out in front or hit them really early. You want to knock it loose following the reception. We've seen these tight ends be a tall task, a tough cover for secondaries to bottle up. And once again, Post University a win on 1st and 10, back down to 2nd and 12. Still very far from field goal range. Remember, Penn State Berend missed their potential go-ahead field goal earlier this game from the 39. Just very far away from the target range here for the go-ahead field goal. The game very much in the balance on this possession. 5 seconds left. And a last-second timeout. They were not willing to take the delay of game. Not sure really what they were trying to do here, in all honesty. No opportunity to move the play clock because they called their own timeout earlier following that completion. But once again, still 15 seconds on that play clock to set up. They're able to do so just when BradSnappa commits to the deep ball. That was just what the doctor ordered. And Penn State Berend able to move the chains. Again, once you snap the ball, you're able to see which defender the user is taking a look at there. Watch out for these drag routes. Dangerous football. The secondary's got their hands on it. It's a turnover. Could go all the way to the house. One lineman between Post University. Oh my goodness, the user, the speed from the big man, able to shut it all down. And now it's Post University in the driver's seat in this one, already in field goal range. And BradSnappa with a chance to put this one away. A clutch defensive takeaway. We saw the fumble recovery in the first quarter. And now a turnover in the clutch with the interception. Right in the safety's clutches there, lying in wait. Able to get his mitts on it. And now Post University operating at the 20-yard line. Out to the first down and more. I don't think there's enough time on the clock, even with 1st and goal. I do believe Post University can start busting out victory formation here in this one. With a field goal at 4th down, of course. We're all tied up here, so Post University got to nail a chip shot. It would certainly be the closest miss we've seen all season. But yeah, you see these. We want to see conservative concepts from Post University. Don't exactly need to do damage from the air. Stack the backfield. Just don't get pinned much further back. And you're looking pretty good here. Now Post University making Penn State Berend feel every second of this 4th quarter game clock. In the back out of the backfield. 4-yard loss, but that's the last timeout left for Penn State Berend. At about 30-ish, 40-ish seconds per play clock. So again, one more down is all Post University need. Don't want to get pinned too far back. But this is Post University's game to lose. There's honestly no other way to slice it here. All to the back, out of the backfield. Stuffed once more. But Penn State University, everybody get a drink of water. Let's relax a little bit because that's exactly what BradSnappa is going to do. Lean back in your chair, get a snack. I'm going to take a sip of water here. You want to see BradSnappa call that timeout with 0.01 on that game clock and get us away with a Game 1 victory. And there's the timeout, just what the doctor ordered. Don't need to overcomplicate this. Grab that special teams unit, grab that field goal unit.
And they're going to head out the line.
28-yarder, just about a chip shot for Post University here. The go-ahead field goal is up, and the kick is good. Post University icing BradSnappa's veins on the defensive side of the football. College Football 26, a game that can be so high scoring. But Post University getting that win in game one from their defense. Of course, a heck of a play from Ryan Williams, who was such a problem with those mesh concepts for Post University. But again, a fumble recovery in the first quarter of game one. We saw the game-sealing interception and return in the fourth quarter. So kudos to BradSnappa. We will be back with his game two. And it's a long series, ladies and gentlemen. Still no sight of Big Sneezy. So we're going to take it back to the Adonis show. We unfortunately don't know the final score of game one. Again, I'm assuming my GOAT won the contest, so we are going to reflect it that he did win game one because he had a one-possession lead. Last time we did get an update from him, as we do actually have the scoreboards backwards, as Adonis is almost assuredly operating on this Georgia Bulldogs defense, it looks like. Yes, sir, we guessed correctly. As we get everybody shuffled about here, Adonis looking to get us out of here in a hurry. And again, Adonis has been a player who's had to do a lot of his prep for this semester in the lab, in the hibernation chamber. He hasn't had too many chances to play games here. A lot of forfeit errors. Adonis trying to leave it to the CPUs. That's going to be too easy. Hardly any defenders in the frame. Southern University march into the touchdown. There's a massive gap in the defense. Southern U able to take advantage. Short kick return for Adonis. They're going to get started out of the 16 roll. Almost had the corner there. Quite able to bounce it outside. That'll be a 2-yard loss for Adonis there. First down. The impulse is ticking. Hard quite to see what these routes are going to. Danger on the drag route. It's blown up. Are we third down now? Blink and you'll miss it. Adonis already staring. Down third and long here. See that max protect there, not messing around with any play action. They throw everybody at the line of scrimmage as well. 4th and 1. The pass is hauled in. Deja vu. We saw this when we were watching Adonis' first half. Pass hauled in, able to turn third and humongous into 4th and short, and that's going to be enough for him to keep this offense out on the field. A man who trusts in his offense to produce 50-50 ball over the top. It's incomplete. And now Southern University going to get quite the head start here. The 4th down trip comes up empty for Post University. That's going to be more than magic from the middle linebacker position. Instead, the running back able to turn that corner. Nobody is home. Touchdown. Post University. Touchdown Southern University. They take the lead as we approach halftime. Quick scoring drive for Southern University on this Notre Dame squad. We did not see who got possession to open this game, so we're not sure who's going to get the ball at the start of the third quarter. Little hezzy from Adonis. Had a window on the right sideline that shut a little bit quicker than he'd like, and he'll get started at the 16. See a short memory out of Adonis following that quick 4 and out on the last drive. Into the back, trying to turn a corner of his own. Cut it back into the gap for a 3-yard gain. Looked like he had his pick of the litter there. Bounce it outside or go through the gap. Be only good for 3. Adonis with time under center. The linebacker's able to sneak up to it. Southern University stacking the box here. They're also bringing their secondary, their safeties right up to the line of scrimmage. So even after these short routes develop, there's still somebody covering them, though that time entirely uncovered. Finally able to sneak past the gap in the zones for the first down and more. Adonis out to midfield at the 48. Getting back in the backfield for Post University. Trying to find that gap in the seams. The lineman able to come crashing down. Like it was the free safety coming in and making that tackle. That'll bring about the 2-minute warning here in this one. Adonis only 2 timeouts to his name. Doesn't look like he's got true clock on. Not exactly eager to rush through the remainder of this half here. Underneath the defense, almost able to sneak through the cracks there. Instead, brought down at the 30. Found his retriever in stride for the wonderful yards after the catch. That's why you make your money here in college football 26, because of how difficult it is to bring down defenders in space. And speaking of defenders in space, no space for the offense to operate. 3 defenders in Adonis' airspace there. 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and 13. Adonis under center. Hands on the quarterback once more. Going to force the incompletion. 3rd and 13 now for Post University. Large drop back for Adonis. The comeback route going to be hauled in for the first down. And oh my goodness, you saw that on the bottom left of your screen. The quarterback good for 200 yards and an interception. Well, Adonis looks like he's doing his damage on the ground and with that strong defensive game. Gonna do some damage on the ground. The gap there for just a moment and it's gone. Just enough for the 5-yard gain. Find the screenplay, hurdling over one defender before marching out of bounds. Just a 1 yard between Post University and that first down marker. As we did see Southern University sell out for that interception. That's why he was laying down there on the ground. Post University couldn't quite punch it in. Still in prime scoring territory. Able to move the chains and march power his way through the rest of the defense for the touchdown. Post University now getting us all tied up late in the first half. Methodical drive, nearly 2 minutes of Post University offense here. Now want to keep Southern University out of field goal range, out of any scoring here as we approach halftime. Regardless of who's getting the ball in the 3rd, Post University going to want to stop here. Either with a chance to take the lead with that opening possession or to continue to try to pitch that shutout in the second half and get this possession battle back in his team's favor. Amazing stick work from Adonis. Nobody's open. Able to spot, looked like the back out of the backfield, streaking upfield. Was the only guy who was covered. Adonis was all over it. His lineman able to bottle up the rest of the coverage. No quarterback scramble, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Trying to find somebody open, trying to use your motion, somebody open. Instead, another incompletion, almost a sack for Post University. 2 incompletions, so the clock stopping. And it's working out in Post University's favor. They can keep those 2 timeouts, keep potentially their offense, give them tremendous field position. still in the first half. A huge drop back, dangerous ball thrown into double coverage, and it's picked off. Post University now looking to turn the corner. Brought down at midfield. His opponent's 49, but 2 timeouts and 30 seconds left. Plenty of time for Adonis to work his magic through this air raid offense. Empty backfield. Adonis trying to do his damage through the air. Able to find the running back underneath the defense. As Southern U looked like they were selling out. No, it was the slot receiver, excuse me. Southern University selling out on a one-play touchdown. Leaves a gap underneath. Adonis takes advantage. Now once again trying to throw right underneath the defense. It's hauled in for the first. Adonis well aware of this conservative, no touchdown defense. They've been trying to run, throw underneath the defense once more. Hit as he makes the catch and incomplete. But Adonis, amazing awareness on this drive, recognizing what sort of defense his opponent's coming out in here. He's been methodical upfield through the air. Once again, able to find the gap in the defense. It's a touchdown at the end of the half here for Post University, who jump out in front in this one. Adonis able to take the reins back following the tremendous two-way play, turning defense into offense. The kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a brief break. I just want to catch what is going on in the BradSnappa show. Still nothing from Big Sneezy. I wonder if his opponent agreed to a reschedule past 8:30. So we'll stick with Adonis as we approach halftime. And there is halftime, the kickoff return, no special teams magic for Southern University. Adonis looking to keep his undefeated record intact, starting off on the defensive side of the ball here. More of this defensive magic. It's, like we said, offenses operate like they're a hot knife through butter. But being able to get wins on defense, and usually that's interceptions through the air, burning your opponent when they go through the air rather than shutting down the run game or getting sacks on the quarterback. Interception is the name of the game on defense. Adonis already coming away with one early on in this one. Bottling up the drag routes, another drag route. No, the quarterback scramble, immediate dive into the air for the 3-yard gain. Take a brief break. I'm hearing the audio double here, I believe. It might have been just some music pre-snap. Drag route going to be balled up. And that might actually be what it is right now. The man's going crazy in between second and third down here. Adonis trying to pitch this shutout the drag. Route concepts coming out yet again, but nobody's open. That's why you can't come out in this mesh spot over and over and over again. If you're facing an opponent who knows how to defend it, you're going to run into problems. It's a concept that doesn't really give you too many emergency release valves. Southern University going to try to keep this offense rolling. Not coming out in this mesh concept now. Able to find, look like the tight end in motion. Huge gash upfield out to the 48. Like they sold out on those drag routes underneath, weren't ready for the tight end out in space. Gonna go back to the well, that same tight end play. Only this time nobody's open, bottled up, thrown out of bounds before it became too much of a problem. It'll be second down. Wonder if they go back to the mesh. Looks like they've been ping-ponging between two play concepts. No, gonna do some damage on the ground on second down. Gain of 7 out to the 44. Not enough to move the chains. Again, we've seen two passing concepts on this drive. Are we going to the run? And if not, which one of these passing concepts are we going to see? More damage on the ground for Southern University. That time good for the first down and more up to the 35. Adonis in a guessing game. That middle linebacker position, the perfect spot to make an impact no matter where the ball's going that time underneath. Defense able to bottle it up just short of the marker. 2nd and 2 for Southern University. Southern University Jaguars looking to approach red zone territory here. It's a flag on the play. I believe that's going to be a free play for Southern U. Yeah, offsides once more. Adonis got caught offsides in game 1. Does so again here in game 2. Not enough to move the chains though. Still 3rd and 1, and that's going to get brought back. 4th and 3 now for Southern University. They like what they see. They're going to keep the offense out on the field. No one settling for field goals in this one. Offense yet again. It's that tight end play, but Adonis has got it bottled up. There's nowhere to go. The pass is broken up and incomplete. You got to have a playbook that's deeper than 3 passes. If not, you turn every down and distance through the air into a coin flip. The defense is happily going to take that. Adonis now with a chance to blow this game wide open. Turn it into a multi-possession lead. Trying to find the gap in the line. Only going to find 1 yard that time. Adonis now firmly in the driver's seat. There comes the true clock, just what the doctor ordered. Make them feel every single second being lost. As Adonis can slow this game down to a crawl with a 1-possession lead in the football. Damage through the air. The back in the backfield in the play action juke move. Not going to be enough to shed the defender. And now it's 3rd and 6 for Post University. Still keeping that 2 clock on. They like what they see. This is a stacked box for Southern University. If he has time under the pocket, he can make some magic happen. But there's no time under center for Post University. Gets lit up for 4th and 6. Adonis looks like he likes what he sees. He's trying to keep the offense out on the field. You want to see, you see an empty backfield, maybe play action, but you have the running back commit to the block. You want to have a lot of extra blockers here for Post University. At the worst case scenario, you want to throw an arm punt because again, you're going to have the offense or Southern University have tremendous field position. You can't get something here. The out route just out of the receiver's range of motion, incomplete. And now Southern University, their offense going to start right where they left off at the 32-yard line. Wealth of drag routes underneath. Hit your poison. That time good for a gain of 5. Every linebacker position is where you want to be. That gap only just enough for the nice 3-yard gain for Southern University. Not enough to move the chains. Good, not great that time on 2nd down. Right up the gut. 4th and inches. He's short of the marker. I thought he had it there. Oh, Southern University had the 1st down instead. Close but no cigar for Southern University. It's 4th down once more. They could have taken 2 chip shots and make it a 1-point game, but instead we're right back. Offense going to stay on the field on 4th down. The back out of the backfield. Looked like a 3-yard gain, more than enough on 4th and inches. Offense going to stay out on the field as we approach the final quarter of play. Dangerous game here. Southern University playing with fire. Down a score in game 2 of this best of 3. Adonis could keep this undefeated record untouched. Move up to 5-0 on the regular season if he comes out on top here. So we'll take a brief break on 1st and 10 to catch an update on Snappa's game. We're going to bring it back real quickly because one play in the 4th quarter is all that Southern University need for the touchdown to get us all tied up in this one. why you need that two-way prowess. If your offense sputters for just a second, it's so easy for opposing offenses to respond when we are all tied up here 35 apiece with just about the entire fourth quarter left to play. Adonis here. We don't start with turning on shoot clock. Maybe if we're feeling it, we get out to midfield, we turn it on. I ideally want to play more than one defensive snap in the fourth quarter if I can help it. Of course, can't be picky here, so I want to see how we look on 1st and 10. Able to get a nice head of steam. Keep the offense moving. Another first down for Post University. From 1st and 10 to 1st and 10, out comes the shoot clock, following that extra space for Adonis to operate. Run out of the backfield for a 7-yard gain. Because of how short the kickoff was. It started at about the 20. Not quite enough field to really matriculate, take all 3 downs, and score with triple zeros. Really close. And it looks like that's what Adonis is going for. Not exactly trying to zip up field in a play or two. And he will take us to the 2-minute warning here with another first down. We can take us to the 2-minute warning on this set of downs here. Adonis certainly not going to get too picky about how we drain all the time from the timer. 4-yard gain. That's going to take us inside the 2-minute warning. Regardless of what happens here, we have 3rd and 4. 2-minute timeout not going to be in either team's back pocket after this next play. No rush. 3rd and 4 from your own 44. Not quite ahead of the sticks. But certainly 4-down offense. Going to keep the run. Keep the ball on the ground. Only a 2-yard gain. Not anywhere near field goal range. This is 4-down territory at its finest. No secrets here, folks. And what Adonis needs to do to keep the game in his hands. Pivotal 4th down conversion for Adonis here incoming. 2 yards short of the first down marker. His undefeated record hanging in the balance. And they look to get us all the way. Take away all 13 seconds on this game clock. Make his opponent feel him. We've seen sometimes opponents do this mentally, try to draw him off sides, get a timeout early. None of that coming out of his disciplined defense of Southern University. Calling Adonis's bluff, forcing the timeout call from the offense on 4th down. Both sides went all in. And once again, we'll have 4th and 2 for Post University. This is an interesting route concept. Gotta find somebody on the quick turnaround. The tight end hauls it in to move the chains. And that could be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. None other than Oscar Delp. We mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast. A problem at the tight end position for any team on this Georgia Bulldogs squad. Elite pass catcher, problematic in space, and so tough to bring down. Adonis able to spot the window, maybe just as it was closing. And you see here, was that victory formation? I hope not. This is not exactly field goal range for Post University. We still need to keep this ball moving. This is a long field goal, 41-yard line. It says within range. You're going to have opposing stadium pulse pumping. This is not an easy one. We want to see true clock turned off here. Instead, we're going to go right to the 15. Call that timeout. We got to make sure true clock turned off. Turbo, at least normal. Yeah, that true clock. Almost scheming himself into overtime. So if he let true clock continue for one more, he would have been out of time. Again, Adonis in the driver's seat. Call one more play. You want to see him get more down in distance. One more first down, and this becomes a chip shot right now. Really on the line here. Adonis going to try to do more damage through the air. Try to get out of bounds, but he's got a head of steam. We don't even have a Southern University player in the frame. And now Adonis, win likelihood. I mean, it was a 50-50 ball, but a massive chunk play, gutsy call on the screen pass. seen often those screen passes go nowhere, but that time it was just what the doctor ordered. Adonis may be looking to punch it in for 6. Run on 1st and 10 goes nowhere, so call a timeout. 1 second left. Did Adonis call it? He did. Oh my goodness, I saw the dancing bulldog. I thought we were going to overtime. Adonis now with a 19-yard chip shot from the 1-yard line. This will be looking like all she wrote. Adonis is best of 3 here tonight in the ECAC. The kick is up. The kick is no good. The kick is wide, and we have overtime. A 19-yard chip shot. Wide left for Post University. We have overtime. It's not golden goal rules in college football overtime. We need to score and get a stop to come away with the victory now. No time limit, folks. The last overtime we saw, I believe it was 6 extra possessions aside because neither team could really get a stop. Adonis is going to need ice in his veins. We haven't seen too much of him on the field. Again, he's been the benefactor of multiple forfeit wins, and we just haven't seen too much of Adonis throughout the regular season because of it. He's getting his money's worth here in week 5. We have overtime to keep his undefeated record intact. Right up the gut, got to power through it. Can't quite do so. Shut down at the 1-yard line. I'm surprised we're not coming out in a QB sneak. Adonis trusting his ground game, trusting his linebackers, but that man is uncovered. The lineman not able to find the gap they wanted there. Now Adonis has to operate out at the 2-yard line. Now, if he doesn't score, his defense can still pitch a shutout and keep this game going. You don't want to be hoping on your defense in college football 26, to put it lightly. Trying to find the gap, the hesitation to cut it back. It's another TFL, 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Maybe overthought it. Looked like he had a block on the left side. Had to turn good into great. Instead, that time on 4th down, able to haul it in for the score. Crisis averted. All's well that ends well for Post University. Struggled on the run, but the kick is up. Chip shot. Gotta hold your breath on these just in case, but it is up and it is good now. Post University can get a stop or force a field goal. That'll be game over. And Adonis will march on to 5-0, undefeated in this regular season still. Wow, no secret with what sort of concept they're running here. Loaded backfield for Southern University. I'd certainly be playing the run if I was in Adonis's position. Pitch to the running back, trying to get some head of steam on the left sideline. Gonna be shut down, short of the marker. Run this power concept, but don't even get 10 yards out of it. And this time, play action. Roll out from the quarterback, but nobody's open. Dangerous ball. Thrown underneath the defense. The defense could not recover in time, and it's a touchdown. Gutsy throw from Southern University. They're daring that secondary to get back into play in time. Too little, too late. And we stay all knotted at 42 apiece. We just want to take a quick break. I don't think we're going to swap back to the BradSnappa show. He is up. My goat is up 17-6 as we approach halftime. But we're not exactly going to find a closer game and an overtime here in game 2 for Adonis. So we're going to stick with him. Still look to ride off into the sunset if he can come away in OT. Now in double overtime. It'll be Adonis starting on defense, the defensive side of the ball. It was hauled in, possession catch for only a 2-yard gain. Gonna do damage through the air once more. This right side of the field, they have a numbers advantage, but it's yakety sack in the backfield. Quarterback forced all out of position. Scrambling shenanigans go nowhere. It's incomplete. And Adonis, the defense looking good now, 3rd and 8, but certainly 4th down territory here in overtime. So not out of the woods yet. Watch out, Adonis leaning on that drag route. Southern University able to spot that gap for the score. Looked like they flipped the play. That was that tight end play that we saw. Counter to the mesh concept they were running throughout the regular period here. And the offense going to stay out on the field. You score 8 and the opponent team can only score 7. It's a problem. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Now going to put pressure on Adonis, not just to score 6 and limp into a PAT. They're going to put pressure on Adonis to score 8. Might lean into Notre Dame's favor. We saw how good of a job they did at the goal line last time on defense. So forcing Adonis into that goal line scenario could be just what the doctor ordered. Dangerous ball nearly picked off by the second lineman. The help defense going to bobble it. And Adonis catching a break that time. No other way to slice it. Stadium pulse is pumping here. Not going to be easy for Adonis to get comfortable. Once again trying to set up the screen pass. The lineman not quite there. And the linebackers out in stride. It's a loss of 5 now. Adonis knocking on the door of game 3. Staring down 3rd and long. He's made magic out of such a position numerous times this game. Looking to do so once again. 50-50 ball knocked incomplete. Nearly was all she wrote on game 2. Instead it'll be 4th down. No secret on where Adonis needs to go. 15 yards or bust. Or Post University. See Bell on the left side of your field, left side of your screen, excuse me. If the jam goes nowhere, X could be open. Is Adonis even going to have enough time to throw that ball? It looks like he's not. The comeback route is hauled in for the 1st down. Just what the doctor ordered. Tackled, but not before making the reception. That moves the chains for Post University. And the offense going to stay out on the field following a rough sequence. They're able to stay alive. Not able to move the chains there. Good for a 9-yard gain. Stay ahead of the sticks. They were on crisis mode. Needed a lifeline at 4th and 15. Adonis comes away with it. Now just going to outrun the entire line of scrimmage en route to a touchdown. Adonis isn't done yet again. Southern U went for the 2-point conversion. No secret for what Adonis is going to need to do here. Not out of the woods yet. Interesting. Got a whole lot of slants and comeback routes. Somebody's wide open. Adonis has done well not to lean on that concept. He's brought it out just when he needs to, and he's been able to catch Southern U off guard every time. Triple overtime. We flip again. Adonis going to start us off here. I wonder if they'll start with the 2-point conversion. Put extra pressure on his opponents to do the same. It looks like it's do or die time here. The quick pass, the 2 points are good. Looks like it's just 2 PAT, 2-point conversion season. Yeah, that's exactly what we've got here now. Back to back to back. No starting from, I believe it was the 30. Interesting zone look for Post University here in the red zone. It's a look that's going to get dotted up the longer the quarterback has. Although they're facing pressure behind the line of scrimmage, they're brought down. They come up empty. And that'll be all she wrote. The line stands. Post University come away with a 52-50 overtime victory. Needed all of triple overtime to do it. Ice in Adonis's veins. The defense comes away with a clutch stop there. Hands on the quarterback. A rare sack to win that game 2. That should get Adonis out. We unfortunately didn't catch the end of his game 1, but the way he's been playing, folks, we're going to call that 2-0 for Adonis. We're going to get you on board in just a moment.
defense, you want to get this guy the football in as many ways as possible.
Back out onto the field. And BradSnappa had a 17-6 lead, now 17-12. And once again on defense, trying to keep this lead from evaporating any further. Rare you see a number like 17 because that means somebody kicked a field goal. 4-down offenses have been a name of the game in college football, 26. But I like to see that conservative approach, especially early on, where you can win with your defense. And Adonis, excuse me, Snappa coming up empty there. But he is able to stop the touchdown. Defense going to live to fight another day, and sometimes that's all you need. Run on first and goal gets crushed.
Just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2. Got stopped on first down. They'll try it again from the 2. They'll move the wide receiver.
Playing from that free safety spot, trying to cut it back inside. We're going nowhere. Just a 1-yard gain. Now 3rd and goal.
They don't choose to go downhill, be physical. They try to get it on the perimeter. Stay away from some of those defensive linemen, but you could tell DBs, linebackers, not scared.
12 points is an equally interesting number. I guess I just clocked that from LSU. I wonder if it's 2 touchdowns and empty 2-point conversions or what. Could also be a field goal and a safety. Feels less likely. The first QB sneak goes nowhere. No secret as to where this football is going. Don't get drawn off sides. It's so difficult to guard. That QB sneak, the second one, is good for the score. And that's going to give Penn State Loren the lead back in this one.
You know, you probably have a good idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. 4th down situation, and the offense comes through playing with a little physicality, a little muscle.
And they did tack on the extra point.
No goal line magic that time for BradSnappa Coast University. Be down 2 as he takes the kickoff here. Another touchback for BradSnappa.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25.
He's cold. Not too sure how BradSnappa got off the field last time. Probably not how he drew it up. Gonna do some damage on the ground. Gonna reset down in distance. Move the chains from 1st and 10 to 1st and 10 at the 38. Once again, running right up that gap. Able to find it for the 7-yard gain. A lot of pressure. You got to commit resources to that run game. Trying to open up the pass in stride. This is not the scramble, the rollout that BradSnappa is looking for. Diagonal and backwards, not going to create good throwing angles, and it's forced to throw it out.
You got to give the defense credit here because they came out here in the second half with the goal of putting the
They'd have some folks open, but throwing on the run on Heisman difficulty, opposite cross body, not the recipe for a productive offense. QB halfback draw, excuse me, going to be just enough to move the chains. Now out to the 48-yard line.
And this is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
Here comes Clemson with another first down. Motion from the wideout. Snap it to the back.
Out of the Wildcat. Only a 4-yard gain. Not quite the speed we wanted out of the Wildcat formation.
Running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive. Stick your foot in the ground. Pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. From the gun, running back
out to the back once more. Room service, almost turning the corner. He got caught on his blocker there. Instead of a touchdown, Snappa's going to be operating out at the 27. Still really good. Can't complain. That trip on offense. Once again, damage right up the gut. The safeties are out too wide. The linebackers are out too wide. So if the linemen are able to create that gap at the line of scrimmage, it's been big gains for BradSnappa in this one. Once again, this time they go too far out wide. You run right up the middle of the field for the touchdown. Methodical run plays from BradSnappa, just maneuvering within the gaps, taking what the defense gives them on the ground as he scores with 000s on that third quarter game clock. And that's the sort of running offense That puts so much pressure on your opponents on offense. When you can run that ground game like that, you turn on that shoot clock, you just deflate the time left in any game. It's always a good move to have in your back pocket. Everybody loves the one-play touchdowns. When it comes down to, especially in the playoffs, being able to really firmly grasp the possession game, so crucial. Love a drive like that from BradSnappa.
Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W.
I guess on the other side, love the run defense as well. We saw Eagles several rushing attempts, but negative 20 rushing yards. Put an equal amount of pressure on your opponent's offense when you're able to shut down that run game as well.
So first down will open up the final period. To the air, it's Nussmeier.
The linebacker going nowhere. Too little, too late, too long to find a weapon downfield. Instead, forced into the incompletion. Out to the back, right into the lineman lying in wait. Only a 5-yard gain that time.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win.
Tough break for BradSnappa there. He was looking to break up field. A delay game from the running back out of the backfield. Able to burn him there. That's what that linebacker's there for, but he's uncovered.
A little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting
now 4th and 1, 4-down territory. BradSnappa leaning heavily towards the run. That's the free safety he's using to get a hand into the action, and it comes up huge. It comes away with a 4-down stop. Put all his chips in the middle of the table, and he comes away victorious, going all in on the run and getting the turnover on downs.
You're in your own territory, and now you turn the football over to the other team. Points are so much easier to get.
Gutsy play that time on defense from BradSnappa, looking to come away with a 2-possession lead. A field goal gives him an 8-point lead. There goes that 2 clock, just what the doctor ordered. He can firmly grasp this one. Not enough field left to get us to 0-0s. They could get a sub-2-minute warning and really make his opponent feel those 3 timeouts. You see the intentional dive again. This is just what the doctors ordered. You don't want to score instantaneously in a time and place like this. Ironically enough, BradSnappa now can take us all the way to the 2-minute timeout if he'd like. More damage on the ground. Solid gap. Only a 3-yard gain. Not exactly ahead of the sticks, but not a TFL. Certainly call that a win in a time and place like this. Set up another nice run play. A lot of resources surely stacked towards the run, and it's going to make a drag mesh concept like this impossible to guard. You see the whole box running in. The whole middle linebacker. We're worried about the run. We're worried about the run. So these short passes underneath, mincemeat of that defense. Just what you want here. Perfect punch, counter punch out of BradSnappa here, who's rolling, cruising. Again, extra field goal, he's got an 8-point lead. That's already a lot of pressure on an offense that's looked a little anemic. Only 19 points here in the 4th quarter. An offense that's probably hit its top speed. They only scored 21 points last game. We like to look at that as like a barometer as you go into game 2. Where did the offense top out in game 1? Try to hit that as your target. Keep them under that. BradSnappa now sub 2-minute warning. Still 3 timeouts. Or Penn State Beren, but if BradSnappa comes away with a touchdown, that's going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. There's almost no other way to describe it. It'll be as close to guaranteed as you can get. It would take a collapse, for lack of a better word, to come back from that one. BradSnappa, no 2 clock. We're gonna make the opponent feel all 15 of these seconds here. Maybe get them to jump the gun, jump off sides, call a timeout a little earlier than maybe they should be here on 2nd and 6.
He leaves it with
Right up the gut, the lineman. I mean, room service. Out to 3rd and 2. You'll take that every single time. Now you're asking the question if you're BradSnappa. When's the box going to collapse? When are we going to start sending, in gauge 8? Throwing one of the safeties, throwing a cornerback blitz in there. Not going to need any of that now that time. Instead, we'll have 4th and 3. And Penn State Berend, if they're not careful, BradSnappa can kind of do nothing and come away with a victory here if they're not going to call timeout. Now, don't nobody say that too loudly. If anybody's watching on that Penn State side, it's a 60-second delay. By the time you hear this, it's too late. But BradSnappa doesn't need to do anything here. He's calling Penn State's bluff. If you won't play, I don't have to. And ladies and gentlemen, 24-19 looks to be your final score. Penn State Berend refused to do anything about it. They have all 3 timeouts, but they're powerless to stop this one. As the clock going to strike 0, the kick is up and the kick is good. 27-19 going to be your final score. And I love what I'm seeing from BradSnappa here. 500 record, risking going sub 500 in a short regular season. Could have spelled the end of his playoff hopes. Instead, stays alive, stays above 500, and does so with some methodical offense on the ground. That second half was, I mean, picturesque running ground game attack football. Amazing play with that small lead. That's going to power him to a 2-0 victory. That's going to do it for tonight's games, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go to the BRB scene real briefly because, again, if Big Sneezy's live, we'd love to show off another Post University Eagle who's out here undefeated, but his game's still not live. Looks like a reschedule if you had to ask me, folks. Well, I'll say that's all she wrote. It looks like Adonis lost his game 1 because he's still out there on the field. So we will get you back to his matchup. He does look like he's on that Ohio State squad. But it's BradSnappa who's going to be the first one out of here following the ice in his veins victory in game 2 there. As we get back into the Adonis show, struggles of not watching both games and not exactly sure who won and who lost. So Adonis, I thought he had ice in his veins in OT. He did, but it was to get us to game 3, not to a sweep. So 1-1 still accurate here in this one, folks. Oh my, thrown to no man's land. That's going to be 4th down. I do, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, nature is calling. The cost of drinking the gigantic water bottle like this. I will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. To leave you with the all-22 film there, as Adonis likes to operate without any commentators. Adonis looking to operate on offense, at least trying to stay in business on the third down conversion. Thought it was a dangerous ball on that quick out route. Instead, it's hauled in. The problems of selling out for an interception, you better not miss. And Southern U feeling the pain that time. Quick pass to the outside, hauled in for the 9-yard gain. Adonis looking to, not exactly looking to play any more OT tonight. Trying to take a multi-possession lead late in the first half. 3rd and 1 now for Post University. Another short out route goes nowhere that time on second down. Look for that curl route. And it looks like Southern University were looking for that curl route as well. No time to make the throw, and Adonis needs to operate the 4-down offense. Thinking of a multi-score possession to try and keep the offense out on the field. Just 1 yard in Post University on the first. Looks like we're stacking the box before Adonis here. Want to see how he reacts. Following the snap, the screen pass. Able to find a gap. Throw it through the trees. Operating through the trees. Thought that the running back got caught when someone wasn't going to make the reception. Just enough to haul it in and move the chains. Looking at the Texas route, but so is that Southern University defense. 50-50 ball in the air as well. Goes nowhere. Incomplete for Post University. Throw beats the contact. Put a lot of height on that as well. Not quite the picturesque, perfect placement that Adonis needed to come away with that one. That'll be second down. Bouncing it to the outside. One man to beat the diving tackle enough to shut him down. And that's really where you want to use that dive. Not to try to force a tackle, but to buy just enough time for the cavalry to arrive. Unfortunately, seeing defenders, when you lean on that dive, especially in one-on-one coverage, you just start looking a little silly in open space. At that time, it's enough to force 3rd down. Trying another screen pass. This one blown up. Huge TFL. It's now 4th and 9 for Post University. No screen pass magic that time. Southern University may be feeling the pain from that overtime. Not willing to get beat again by that look. And this is not going to be an easy completion. The wind is going his way. But we're operating at about the 37-yard line. We already saw a miss from this deep earlier on in tonight's show. I believe it was from Penn State Berend against BradSnappa's game. So not the same dog in the fight, but it is just enough for Adonis to call off the dogs and get the quarterback out there on the field. Play action, but there's already hands on the quarterback. The line collapses immediately. No time to operate following the play action. I mean, the block just shed there. Not what Adonis was drawing up. Now he'll be playing defense for the last minute and change here in this one. I mean, rough plays for Adonis. He spot kind of in no man's land. He did have that one defender. He did have that one receiver streaking to the left side of the field, but he did see that one look like back out of the backfield underneath it all. Couldn't quite get there. Too little, too late. That's a 5-yard completion. Now a huge rollout from the quarterback, and we're able to find one downfield uncovered out to the 34, flipping the field in one play. Southern University already jumping out into scoring territory. Over these drag routes, nobody open. We're throwing it away. Not quite intentional grounding. Certainly enough for second down. 2 interceptions already in this half, so a 1-score lead. Like Adonis doing it all with his defense, looking for another defensive win here. 23 seconds left in the quarter. But as he throws, no, it's a possession catch and a timeout, not risking it. Saw the secondary rolling in, wasn't going to take any chances with that one. Once again, in that middle linebacker position, got to lock up the slants, forcing another throwaway. Once again, middle linebacker, the C's crashing down. Somebody able to sneak out uncovered for the touchdown. A lot of that defense was committing to the right side of the field. Southern U able to spot the soft gap on the left side. That's part of the problem with these slants and these mesh concepts, especially with the shortened field. Everyone just kind of bunches up in the middle. Get that buckshot, everybody going wild out after they all crash in the middle there. Both on offense and on defense. That time Southern U coming away with the win there. With 6 seconds left, you have one timeout. Bring out your favorite Hail Mary play, because that's just about all you've got time for. If you've got any play in the back of your pocket that can score a touchdown in a possession and a down, at the very least, it's time to get into the lab and maybe try something new to do just that. Southern U not going to make it easy. Coming out in that prevent look. Adonis not going to overcomplicate anything. No pick six shenanigans here. Going to throw it out, and we are all tied up at 14 apiece here in halftime. A very different scoring game from the 52-50 shootout we saw in game 2. Both teams moving calmly, moving quietly with intention on offense and on defense. Both teams really keeping it close with that defensive side of the ball. We saw the TFLs, multiple sacks, 2 interceptions from Southern U before we tuned into the Adonis show. A low-scoring affair because defense has been the name of the game here in this pivotal game 3. To the outside, we thought he had a gap there. Instead, runs right into a brick wall. 1 yard first. Big throw, oh my goodness. Thought the linemen were diving at the line of scrimmage. Instead, they stand back, stand tall, interception. It's a pick 6 for the touchdown. Looked like we were crashing at the line, playing the run game. Instead, they laid the bait. And the trap goes all the way for 7, man. We mentioned it at halftime. Maybe the game's been that defense, and a pick 6 is what gives Southern U the lead. Being tested. Doesn't have too many in-game reps throughout the regular season, but facing a tough challenge here in week 5. 50 ball, oh my goodness, another takeaway. It's bobbled into the air, and the secondary's got it in their hands. Could be 2 plays on offense and 2 straight pick 6s for Southern University. In offensive calamity, catastrophe. Absurdity from the defense. 2 straight pick 6s on 2 straight downs on defense. As the Southern U Lions, I mean, the PAT is no good, but double their lead in 2 plays. Just minutes ago, we were all tied up at 14 apiece. Now Adonis staring down a multi-possession deficit. Just hasn't been able to get the looks he's liked through the air. It's the secondary and these linebackers, these cornerbacks, these safeties have been a problem for Adonis to dice up through the air, but now he's going to have no choice to do just that, staring down the large deficit. Forced to throw it away, but you have to shrink your playbook with a 13 points. Can't exactly run a methodical run-based ground game attack 50-50 ball to go. All right, out in space, going to be hauled in. Just looking for some magic here. And the gap not quite going to be there. Only a 3-yard gain. That's now tremendous drop back. That was nowhere. Incomplete. Still no sneezy. Still on the nickel. We're gonna hang that up for the night as soon as his game's rescheduled. Pass is caught, able to turn the corner. It's ahead of steam. No one in the secondary is catching number 4. Touchdown, Post University. Adonis able to knife into the lead with a quick score there, following 2 frankly abysmal plays on the offensive side of the football. I don't think Adonis would describe it any different. Now finally a chance for Adonis to play some defense, continue to impact on that side of the field where they've already done so well, forcing 2 interceptions in that first half. To the running back. It's that wildcat formation. Only a gain of 4 that time. To the wildcat once more. This time able to find some wiggle room for the first. Running that wildcat offense to get some speed. You don't worry about wasting the time on the handoff for the direct snap. Trying to go from 0 to 60 as fast as possible that time. Stuffed at the line. Once again, it's the back with a head of steam. He's got a blocker as well. No one else is home. Touchdown, Southern University. Go to work with that wildcat. That stuff, first down. We asked them, it was not broke, so they did not need to fix it. That time it's a house call. Looking to make up for lost time and the missed PAT. Offense out here going for 2. Looks like they're going to find it. No, they're brought down short of the end zone. It will stay an awkward 12-point lead for Southern University. Not quite a 2-possession lead per se, but just about it. Not quite a 2-score game, certainly a 2-possession lead. Excuse me. He's already punched back in the 3rd quarter following that rough start. Going to keep that offensive momentum going. Quick to the tight end. Out of bounds before he could turn upfield with that head of steam. Drag out underneath, user defenders all over it, but 50-50 ball. His man's got a step. It's overthrown. Incomplete. Quarterback's not happy. Saw him complaining at the ref. Maybe wanted some DPI, defensive pass interference. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 35. Deep drop back for Adonis. Dangerous ball. It's overthrown. Thrown on the run this time, but it's incomplete out of bounds. Timing not quite there. Adonis been parked. Still 10 yards between him and the marker. Put it back upfield. Who else? The tight end. Big target in space for Adonis. Going to move the chains. Action on first down, wide open in the middle of the field. The window's gonna slide right in through that gap in the secondary for the touchdown. 2 straight diving tackles to try to shut the window down there. Adonis able to slither in for 6. Now following the missed PAT, following the missed 2-point conversion, only a 5-point lead for Southern University. Adonis battling back here. Following the 2 straight pick sixes, his defense continuing to get him back into this one. Another win on defense for his offense to come back out with a chance to take the lead. Once again, it's that wildcat formation, trying to get from 0 to 60 as fast as possible. They get past that line of scrimmage, usually it's a problem. That time able to contain them just for the short 3-yard gain. As Southern University content to take us to the 4th quarter there, the game clock. Obviously they have the lead, so it's in their favor, but it could very quickly, they're walking a fine line of this double-edged sword here. Only a 5-point lead for Southern University. I wonder if they would turn off 2 clock early. That time out to the back from the quarterback handoff goes nowhere. Interesting to see if they turn it off. No, still have 2 clock on, despite it being 3rd and 8 here. Dangerous ball, nearly picked off. Thrown on the run, excuse me. And cross body. I'm amazed this isn't a takeaway. It would have certainly gone the other way for 6 if it did. Instead, it'll be 4th and 8. Offense still likes what they're seeing. Quarterback going to stay out on the field. Immediate hands on the quarterback off one of his own linemen and incomplete. Adonis now going to start with tremendous field goal position at his own 27. Adonis firmly in the driver's seat in this one. Now a touchdown, our math is correct. A touchdown only puts him, a touchdown and a PAT, excuse me. So I'm going to put him up 2, so I wonder if he'll go for 2 to secure the field goal advantage. He's going to have to make that decision pretty quickly, folks, because it's a 1-play touchdown for Post University. Learning the defense immediately in the offense. Adonis well aware of the game time and scenario. There's still a lot of football left to be played here, and he's feeling the confidence in his defense. Got to put that pressure on your offense to go for the 2-point PAT, especially in a game where we haven't exactly seen too many field goals. So Adonis now nursing a narrow 2-point lead in this one, ladies and gentlemen, all tied up at 1 apiece, looking to maintain his undefeated record 4-0 through the first 4 weeks here in the ECAC, going up against Southern U, of course, Swiss stage format, fighting to remain undefeated. Run on 1st and 10, gonna get shut down. Interesting that they've gone away from the Wildcat. Might be a bit of an in case of emergency scenario, maybe keeping it in the back pocket in case you need it. And that time, empty backfield for Southern University. A huge rollout, dangerous football hit as he makes the catch, able to hold on to it for the first down. Southern University threw up a prayer and it was answered there. Now this time out to the Wildcat formation, just a short gain of 4. Once again, out of the Wildcat formation, not quite what we wanted there. If you are Southern University, man, you can break out with that head of steam. You're going to have 1 step on the rest of the secondary, but it's going to be harder to get past that line of scrimmage. Here comes that mesh concept, but it's the back out of the backfield catching the pass through the air for the first. To the running back, no room to run. Finally shoved down. Just letting his linemen go to work there, just powering through a sea of bodies that time for a 7-yard gain. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute timeout, folks, believe it or not. The magic of chew clock and the massive pre-snap game clock in college football 26, in college football in general. You're playing that methodical ground game. You can take entire minutes. We've seen folks take entire quarters to score. That was just what the doctor ordered here. If you are Southern University, already sub-minute. Adonis running out of field before we approach field goal range. Gotta watch these drag routes, could be dangerous. And he's able to motion the receiver wide open into enemy territory right in the field goal range. Not what the doctor ordered. Heads up play from Southern U there. Turn that drag route into a go route. Make some magic happen. Now out of the Wildcat. One man to beat. Still brought down at the 6-yard line. But Adonis going from undefeated. Gonna need a Christmas miracle here. 2 timeouts left standing. But Southern U just about in victory formation here. Loaded backfield. Not going to look to do any damage through the air. We need a Christmas miracle, another one. No fumble, no forced fumble recovery. Just going to power through the end zone for the touchdown. You wonder if it's a score. Dare we say a little squirrely, only a 5-point lead. Adonis with 2 timeouts and 36 seconds left, enough to make some magic happen. He struggled through the air. We need to lock in and do some damage with the passing game to come away with the victory here. On him, I opt for the touchback. Game clock isn't going to start until you get out of the end zone. Adonis going to do differently. Take the ball out of the backfield. Give himself as much field to work with. It's usually a problem when you get to the red zone or goal line plays. You're not having a field to operate with. With the long ball plays Adonis brings out here, you want as much field as you can help here. Right underneath, wow, in the breadbasket. Couldn't ask for better placement as he runs out of bounds. Right over the top of the defense. And Adonis already out to midfield. Right in the window, hit as he makes the catch, and it's incomplete. Risky ball there. A lot of dark blue jerseys for Southern University on the Notre Dame squad. Instead, will be 2nd and 10. Adonis able to find the short completion. Try to cut it upfield. Only a 5-yard gain, but you get out of bounds. And there are no secrets, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to be a touchdown. You can't go touchdown or field goal. Surprised we're not already seeing Southern U come out in a more stacked cover 4, a deep drop, man coverage kind of deal. And Adonis not what he's looking for on 3rd down. Gets sacked inside of his own pocket behind the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 10, folks. It's lifeline time. Adonis still has 1 timeout. He can go short if he wants to. He might need to here. Southern U coming out in the prevent coverage. You see those 3 deep safeties and a huge drop way behind the line of scrimmage, able to find 1 out to the 27-yard line. No timeout from Adonis here, not yet at least. There goes the timeout. That's the last one. Adonis, boom or bust here. You want to throw incomplete if you can't find something. And man, the prevent look in the red zone is kind of an interesting one. There might be a window to throw underneath. Far from an easy play here. Gotta watch out for that comeback route. It's been a moneymaker for Adonis so far in this one on the left side of your screen. Adonis just roaming here. It's the last play of the game, folks. 50-50 ball. Oh my goodness. Adonis 1 yard short of the marker. Forced to run upfield to make the catch. And he's short of the touchdown. Southern University come away in an absolute nail biter. The Hail Mary's good, but it's short of the touchdown. Southern U come away with a narrow 40.